Your dog growls when you wake him up. He steals food and shakes his toys like he's caught prey. He howls the second you grab your keys. He hides snacks in his bed and curls up inside your open suitcase. He cries when you cry, then spins in frantic circles minutes later. And every time you correct him, you say no. You raise your voice a little sharper than you meant to. Nothing changes. Nothing ever changes. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why he does every one of these things. It's not dominance. It's not spite. It's not a broken dog. It's a biological blueprint nobody ever taught you to read. If you have tried the corrections, the treats, the stern voice, and you are still watching this same behavior loop over and over, please hear this clearly. That is not a reflection of your ability as an owner. It never was. Here is the uncomfortable truth the traditional dog training industry does not want you to think about. Most training programs teach you mechanical commands. Sit, stay, heel, come. And that is useful, sure, but it treats the surface, never the root cause of dog behavior. When your dog growls, steals food, howls, or spins in circles, and you respond with a correction aimed at the behavior itself, you are punishing a symptom while the actual cause keeps running underneath it, untouched. This is why the same issues keep resurfacing no matter how consistent you are with commands. You are not failing at training. You are training the wrong layer entirely. For decades, dominance theory shaped nearly every training program sold in this country. Be the alpha. Never let your dog win a game of tug. Walk through the door first, every single time. Most of that framework was built on outdated observations of wolves living in artificial captivity, not on how dogs actually process the world inside a real home. It sounds authoritative. It feels logical. But it completely ignores the biological connection between a dog's nervous system and the humans he lives with every day. And that omission is exactly why so many good, patient owners still feel stuck. So what if that growl is not a warning at all? What if it is something else completely? Let's talk about canine psychology for a moment, because this is where everything starts to make sense. Dogs carry evolutionary programming inherited directly from their wild ancestors, wired into the nervous system long before any dog ever slept on a couch. Their ancestors relied on split-second reactions to survive within a group. A startled response, a guarded meal, a howl into open space. None of that was a character flaw. It was a survival tool, passed down through thousands of years, still humming quietly under the surface of every dog alive today, including yours. Waking a sleeping dog abruptly can trigger a physiological reflex tied to ancient pack dynamics. Not the hierarchy your old trainer warned you about, but the survival wiring underneath it. A split-second startle response that has nothing to do with disobedience and everything to do with biology moving faster than thought. There is a window, somewhere between 1 and 2 seconds, where your dog's brain reacts on pure reflex, before conscious choice ever enters the picture. Punish inside that window, and you're not correcting a decision. You're punishing a reflex your dog does not control. What would change if you gave him that window instead of a reaction? That shift in perspective is the doorway into something we call the emotional sink method. And once you walk through it, you will never look at your dog's behavior the same way again. The emotional sink method starts with one simple shift in belief. Your dog isn't misbehaving. He is communicating constantly through canine body language that most owners were never taught to notice, let alone understand. Every growl, every spin, every stolen sock carries information. The question was never what is wrong with my dog. The question has always been, what is my dog trying to tell me, and am I regulated enough to hear it? Quick pause. If this is hitting home, hit like and subscribe. It helps more owners find this instead of more mechanical commands that miss the point. Now let's walk through what is actually happening with each of these behaviors, one at a time, so you can start seeing your own dog differently starting today. Take the growling when you wake him, or the way he shakes a toy like it's a small animal. That reaction isn't misbehaving. It is a physiological reflex rooted deep in pack dynamics, an automatic response your dog inherited long before he ever met you. When you understand that, the fix stops being about punishment and starts being about timing. Give your dog a full 1 to 2 seconds to fully wake and reorient before any touch or interaction. Let a stolen item be traded calmly for something better instead of chased and yelled over. Since chasing only mimics prey behavior and intensifies the very reflex you're trying to calm. Now consider the howling at the door, the sudden interest in your suitcase, the hidden snacks tucked into his bed. Owners often read this as guilt or even as a kind of quiet revenge. But what if it's neither? This is where separation anxiety hides in plain sight, disguised as odd, almost comedic behavior. A dog's nervous system regulation depends heavily on consistency. And if your departure ritual is emotional, rushed, or unpredictable, your dog absorbs that instability as a threat. He isn't misbehaving when he howls. He is responding to a lack of a steady, calm ritual that tells his nervous system everything is still safe, even when you're not in the room. Building a short, boring, repeatable routine before you leave. The same steps, the same tone, every single time. Gives your dog's nervous system the predictability it's been asking for all along. Then there's the moment your dog cries when you cry, or explodes into a sudden burst of frantic zoomies with no warning at all. This is not random. Science backs it up. A study out of Linköping University in Sweden, published in the journal Scientific Reports, found that dogs and their owners actually synchronize their cortisol levels over time, sometimes more closely than genetics alone would predict. Your dog isn't overreacting. He is absorbing emotional noise from your own nervous system and has nowhere to put it. Think of his nervous system as a sponge sitting right next to yours, soaking up whatever you're radiating. Tension before a hard day, relief when you finally exhale, worry you never said out loud. He doesn't have the vocabulary to process any of it, so his body does the processing for him instead. Sometimes through a whine that mirrors your own sadness, sometimes through motion that simply has nowhere else to go. Those zoomies are often a release valve for cortisol your dog never asked to carry. This is a lack of emotional attunement between two nervous systems trying to sync without a shared language. And it is entirely repairable once you know where to look. A few slow breaths and a lowered voice before you greet him, especially after a hard day, gives his nervous system far less noise to absorb. And finally, the behavior's traditional training punishes most harshly. Licking the air mid-play, turning his head away from you, a sudden sneeze in the middle of a game. Why would something as small as turning away during play matter at all? These are calming signals. Quiet pieces of canine body language your dog uses to lower tension in the moment. When you correct these signals instead of recognizing them, you are punishing the exact communication tools your dog relies on to keep the interaction safe for both of you. Over time, this erodes trust and pushes your dog into a state of heightened alertness, because the one channel he had to say, "I need a second," has been shut down repeatedly by the person he trusts most. The fix is restraint, not correction. The next time he looks away mid-play or licks the air, pause the game for a moment instead of pushing forward. Let him reset. You are not losing control of the interaction. You are proving that his signals actually get heard. Here is what ties every single one of these 4 patterns together. In each case, that reaction was never defiance. It was biology, doing exactly what it was built to do. And nobody ever explained that to you. This is the real biological connection at the center of the emotional sync method. The understanding that your dog's actions are a direct reflection of nervous system regulation, both his and yours, happening in real time, whether you're aware of it or not. Now, I'm not going to walk you through the entire framework in one video because that would take hours. And honestly, it deserves more room than a single sitting. What I can tell you is that everything we covered today, the reflex window, the departure ritual, the cortisol connection, the calming signals, these are just 4 pieces of a much larger 5-part system. If today's video shifted something in how you see your dog, that shift is exactly what the emotional sync method was built to create at a much deeper level. Across every part of your relationship with him, I put the complete method into a guide called The Dog Who Understands You. You'll find the link in the pinned comment below this video. And if you want a simple place to start today, there's a free checklist linked there too. 10 things to check before your very next interaction with your dog. No email required, just click and download it. If this video helped you see your dog a little differently, do us both a favor and like it, and share it with another owner who's been correcting behaviors they never fully understood. Every dog deserves an owner who reads the biology behind the behavior instead of just the behavior itself. And now you're one step closer to being that owner. And when you're done here, stick around for the next video. It picks up right where this one leaves off, with more of what your dog has been trying to tell you all along.